From my personal perspective, I think having a job that I liked and the ability to help the people that or the people who were affected one way or the other by the last offensive gives good purpose for me to continue. I work in an organization that is the most experienced one in the whole Gaza Strip for many, many years in providing mental health services to victims of torture, to the people who have survived after wars or offensives, and to the people who have psychologically suffered from the various activities of the Israeli army during the last few decades. So you are all the time surrounded by work and more work. You are overwhelmed with many activities that you have to do in order to not only work but help other people do their work, because my senior position in the organization is not only demanding, but it also gives opportunity for others to work. So when I perform better, the whole organization performs better. And this is like a state of, you have a good purpose that keeps your energy up. And when you feel that you are going down, it might happen for a day or two, but it cannot continue like that, because if that continues, you know simply that it's not affecting only you, but it's affecting a big organization, many other people who work with you, and at the end of the day it will also affect people who benefit from the interventions that you do. I have very good network of supporters, whether those are family members or whether those are people with whom we work, or whether those are people who keep calling and asking how are things in Gaza. I'm here speaking about international colleagues and friends with whom we have worked and cooperated and continued for many years to share our sorrows and to share ways of helping Palestinians in Gaza Strip. And I would say that we count on those people, we count on our friends and colleagues, we count on the ties with the people who believe in our right to live in a dignified way, to be freed of occupation, to have our own state, and to be able to enjoy our life without any obstacles. So I have a clear purpose, and I have a strong faith that this is the right path and that I should continue it, and that people around me also share with me the same faith, the same idea, and together we are really achieving things. It was extremely difficult for the first few days when the ceasefire took place, but we were thinking together and with some other people in the society how to help each other continue, and how to help people who were extremely affected continue, and how to help raise the spirits of others, how to help relieve the pain and the suffering of the others, how to help parents deal with their children, how to help children go out of the circus of violence, how to do that. And we were really doing well in terms of finding ways of dealing with all these issues. Unfortunately, the situation continues to be hard, and it's even sometimes getting worse, with the weather getting colder, with the rains, especially with the affected houses, with the destroyed houses, with the people who sleep in rooms where the ceiling is full of holes, caused by the last offensive, by the last aggression. But anyway, we know that we will survive, and that there is no other way. And so far that we are managing things, and once you feel that you continue to be okay, you continue to be able to help your children, your family, people around you, and your colleagues at work, and many Palestinian people at large, then you are happy for what you do, and this gives you further energy to continue more and more the work. And I think this applies to many of the other people who live in the society. Our case is very simple. We are freedom fighters, nothing more than that. We struggle to get our independence, and we struggle through just to continue living under these harsh circumstances. You have years of the siege, you have difficulties of traveling, and you hope that one day justice will see the light. For other people also, our social network is very important. Gazans have strong ties between the family members, and I think this plays a significant role in keeping us able to continue the work that we do and to continue to live, basically. And sometimes I would say that for us in Gaza, there is no other way. I mean, there is no other escape. How would you escape from siege? How would you escape if there are no way to travel abroad? How would you escape a thing that you are living with? You are not able to change your family. This is out of possibility. It's impossible to change your life. It's not possible to be born again in some other place. And you have to go on with that. And we are doing that whether we like it or not. For some of the Palestinians, some of the people, they do not like it at all. But they are forced to stay. It's pretty similar to an open-air prison, and everyone knows that. And you have to be happy with what you are given, and what you are given is usually less than what a prisoner is to give, is to be received. Is to receive from his jail authorities. But that's the way we live. It's our luck that we are here, whether it's a bad luck or good luck. This is, varies. But at the end of the day, we have to live with it. We have no other chance, no other possibility. Once we have the chance to travel abroad, to leave, then we could check again if it's our choice or if it's not our choice to be in this place. Little pause, if that's okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a patient that I need to But there is something for sure, which is that we care a lot about our children and about the future of our children. We know that more than 40% of the people are unemployed, and unemployment rate is extremely high among the new graduates, especially in the last 5 years. And most of the people think of their children, and all of us, like any other people in the world, would prefer to have the best possible life for their children, which means the right to have good education, the right to go to the university, the right to be free to travel to the university to get higher education, and the right to have a good job opportunity, and above all, good living conditions, where you can drink clean water, have enough electricity, and of course have clean food. Above all, we also want our children to live in a secure and in safe conditions. We don't want our children to be terrorized or horrified. We don't want them to be subjected to more and more wars. And Muhammad, my oldest son, is now 10. He already experienced 3 different offensives or wars. My daughter is only 8. Well, she experienced those 2. And I am not sure, even I am a psychiatrist with a good experience in child psychiatry, how this is going to affect their future. But definitely I wouldn't really like to see them go one more time through what we have all experienced. And I don't know if that would make me think more about going to some other place or not at all. Just stick to my homeland and try to help my family, my children, as much as possible to get as better education as possible, and hopefully they would get better chances of employment or of whatever. And that's how I think, that's how most of the Palestinian men think and women think regarding their children. Parents invest in their children education, and unfortunately this was interrupted more than once in a very brutal way, in a very dramatic way, and at least we hope that there wouldn't be any more of those events in the future. Last couple of weeks we heard about too many Gazans who got drowned in the sea. Some of them were not as expected. Usually young men will flee to try to find place of work and to build a new future. Many of them were just families, young parents in their late 20s, early 30s, with a couple of children, just were drowning in the Mediterranean Sea on the way to Europe, on the way to what they thought to be a better life for themselves and for their children. But they ended up in the sea. They ended up with even their relatives do not see bodies or even a graveyard to visit in the future. It's extremely confusing when we live and when we go on. What keeps us living? And I think part of this confusion you already heard or seen from what I am saying. But we have no other choice to live, to go on, to continue, to believe that justice will come, see the light one day, and to invest one way or the other in ourselves or in our children, and to hope for a better future. That's it.